Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm JP Nordia, and I'm your host this evening for Sports Federation TV. Of course, you'd be used to the fact that Elton Davids is your regular guest, and I'm standing in for him tonight. Sports Federation TV is, of course, all about sport in and around Cape Town, and specifically focused on the sports federations within the Western Province Sports Council. So what do? We create TV for sport in Cape Town. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for you, the viewer, to understand what happens in the world of sport in Cape Town, specifically under the administration of the Western Province Sports Council, right here on Cape Town TV. Of course, the show is every Friday night from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock and repeats on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you want to, you can go to sleep with us and, of course, wake up with us as well. We've got some fantastic guests on the show this evening. Lakeisha Johnson from the world of table tennis, as well as Theo Cogill will be chatting to us in a second. Bennett Bailey and Wayne Whites will talk to us about the world of football. The Coca-Cola Cup is coming up shortly, and we'll be speaking to Kyle Apple. He's just returned from an international event. He's been on the show before. He's going to tell us how he recently performed at the World Youth Championships. In the meantime, my first guest this evening from the world of table tennis. He's ranked 17th in the Para World Table Tennis Championships, and this is Theo Cogill from Bonteheuwel. Theo, congratulations on your recent performance, and welcome to Sports Federation TV.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's get into some basics here. Let's first of all start with how long have you been involved in table tennis?
I've been involved for the past 15 years.
What made you get into table tennis? How did it all start for you?
My father them were actually basically busy building on our house, so we just decided to just take a door and put some chairs underneath, and then we just started playing randomly.
Did you have bats, or I mean,
no?
I know you had the door. Okay, so you put the door and a couple of chairs or something, and so what did you hit?
Yes, we just used some planks that was laying in the yard,
Plankies.
and we just like they call it plankies.
Plankies,
And
yeah.
eventually we just got into the whole mood of starting to play table tennis, and we moved on to playing at the community center.
Was it a family experience, or the other members of your family also playing table tennis?
Yes, other members of my family were playing, but I just felt more interest after I felt like I could really start playing at a good level.
What made you, at which stage, what made you realize that you were going to be a natural at table tennis?
Like I said, I started at the community center. I then met a guy with the name of Gregory Nike, and he actually really introduced me to table tennis and said that that they have a club in Bonteheuwel and that I should start playing and that I really have talent, and we just took it from there.
Tell me about the community center. Obviously, table tennis is not the only sport that they're doing there.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports going on at all community centers.
Yeah.
Like there's table tennis, there's badminton, there's volleyball. So in the afternoon it was quite tough as well, because many players play at the community center every afternoon. So if you lose, you snooze, basically, because there's so many players, you have to win to stay on the table all the time.
Is that how it works? You're like a bit of a, you have to. If you lose, do you then fall out and someone else comes and takes over?
Yes.
So the winner stays on the field.
Yes. And all the community centers close about 4:30 to 5, and they open at 2:30, so there's not much time.
So you've actually only got 2 hours a day.
Yes, basically 2 hours.
Right. So let's just talk a little bit before we get into your results. I mean, you've got some fantastic results. You ranked number 17 in the para player world arena, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Of course, you've been involved. You had a terrible accident. We're going to talk about that as well. I think a lot of people out there probably want to know, what happened to you. But tell us about the weekly practice sessions. How often do you practice? Who do you have to compete against? How do you get better at table tennis?
Table tennis is all about playing as much as you can. It's definitely about feeling, and technical, tactical, and obviously the mental aspects as well. It's not an easy sport. Basically, I train at the club on the Mondays and the Tuesdays we have club at the multi-purpose center in Bonteheuwel.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the Boundary Table Tennis Club. So I normally go there at 5 a.m. and we end at 8 a.m. in the evening, 8 p.m. in the evening. And from there I just went to local tournaments, Western Province Open, South African National Open, and I just took it from there. But it wasn't easy. Eh?
What was that first? Tell us about that first time that you stepped out of Bonteheuwel and you went to your first big competition to go and compete against what we call the big dogs.
Obviously, it's not normal. It's your first time. You don't know what to expect. You know, people always say, "Oh, you have to expect this or you have to expect that," but it's If you go out there, it's just an experience, I can say.
Yeah.
And
Where was it? Can you remember?
my first trip was Egypt.
Egypt?
Yes.
So you didn't just like go from Bonteheuwel to the Good Hope Centre or something?
No. Basically, we have the national championship every year.
Yeah.
Let me just explain how that works. So you go to the national championship, and basically the top 3 or top 4 is normally selected to represent South Africa in Africa.
Right.
So what happened was I won nationals, and then I got selected to play to represent South Africa in Egypt at African Championship. And at that time I was still young. I think I was about 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I actually won a bronze medal. So then I got selected to be in the African team, and I represented Africa.
Was this before your accident?
Before my accident, yes.
Okay.
I was first an able-bodied player,
Right.
and then I also received a 5-year scholarship from ITTF, International Table Tennis Federation.
All right.
So
How does that work? A scholarship? Do they send you money or?
They don't normally send you money. They sponsor you with some money to go to tournaments.
Okay, so they sort of open the door to compete.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what happens is, if you do good at tournaments, they increase the amount of money so that you can go to more.
Fantastic.
So I've been on the circuit for 5, 6, 7 years, playing internationally, played a few pro tours as well, and yeah, basically it went from
All right.
there.
Okay. So you've had a lot of experience. I think it's time for us to show the viewers Theo in action. Folks, we managed to get a couple of clips of Theo in the world of table tennis, and I think we're all very excited to see it. Let's have a look. Okay, that looks pretty exciting. Tony's table tennis table. Who's Tony?
It's some guy. I think he's Chinese or from Thailand. He's also selling equipment.
Tell us a little bit about that tournament itself. That you mentioned me during the break there that this was at the Goodwood Civic Centre.
Yes, at the Goodwood Sports Hall, basically.
Yeah.
What happened? Tony's table tennis. He invited some players from China just to come and have an exhibition type of thing in Cape Town, and those players that we were playing against, I think the one boy is probably in the top 15 in China, and one of the older men, I think they were probably in the national team before. So
in that clip there, you were playing with somebody. This is of course doubles table tennis.
Oh yes.
Do you normally play singles or doubles?
Normally you get singles, doubles, mixed doubles. Mixed doubles is when you play with a boy and a girl.
Okay.
And then obviously team event.
Yeah. So all right. So let's just move a step further here now. You're currently ranked number 17 in the Para World Championships. Give us a quick understanding of Paralympics. I mean, there's lots of different degrees. Tell us about why it is that you are in the Paralympics and how did that happen?
Due to my accident, I've had an accident and I've went for tests to see if I can qualify to play in Para. And I qualified to play in the TT10 division. Okay. Which is, TT10 is basically people that can stand that is semi-paralyzed, I would say.
Okay.
So
So you're semi-paralyzed.
yes, I'm semi-paralyzed. Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? How
Of
did it
my
happen?
accident.
Everybody, I suppose a lot of people ask that question. How did it happen? What happened? Is that do you find that? Or
Quite
people too
interesting.
shy?
Yes,
Is die mense te skaam om te vra? Huh?
people are shy to ask.
Yeah.
But it was a night out
Yeah.
with friends. Basically, I went to drop friends. My friends were actually in a fight.
Okay.
I was in the car, and I saw this fight happening. Got out, tried to stop it,
Yes.
and someone just stabbed me from behind, and in my lower back as well. And then that was the cause, basically.
And
why
did that create nerve damage?
Yes, it did, definitely.
Okay.
I've got stabbed on my spine,
Yes.
or just literally touched my spine.
I mean, that's a terrible
And-
incident. I'd like to know what happened after that. I mean, how did you find the courage to say I'm going to keep playing table tennis?
It was quite tough at first because I was struggling walking
Yeah.
for almost about a year. I was walking in a walking room. Takes a lot out of yourself, to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
Mostly my friends, my family, my
Did-
girlfriend.
did
that's
they support
motivating
you?
me. Yes, very much indeed. It was quite hard. I thought I'd never get back into the sport again. And then at the stage I just got my feeling back and I started walking properly. I couldn't run yet.
Yeah.
And then it just took me time to start training again, and it just got better from there.
The physical practice of getting back into the training, that must have been quite a challenge because you probably had to work out different techniques and different feeling of the balance and all that.
Yes, it was. Like I said, it was very tough. I had to adapt to my body differently than what it was. Like I couldn't twist my neck properly.
Mm.
I would get cramps on my spine. So I had to adapt to all of that. And the sensation I'm feeling on my right hand side, it's very hard to explain. But I needed to adapt to that as well.
So are you left-handed, all right?
I'm left-handed.
Were you left-handed before?
Yes, I was left-handed
Okay,
before.
so you managed to at least keep that one strength.
Yes, I managed to do that, yes. So, like I said, it's tough, but through self-motivation and
Yeah.
people being around there for me, and just got better from there. I just started motivating myself and believe that I could step up again to
I mean,
play table tennis.
You're now almost like a national hero. You're 17 in the world. You're wearing the South African colours. In your community, there must be a lot of kids that think you're the town hero. I mean, you must have a lot of people look up to you. I mean, you've shown incredible courage and commitment to the sport. Do you get that in when you walk down the street?
Yes, I do get it a lot though. Like personally, when I'm going out or anything like that, people always ask, "Oh, you know
Yeah.
that guy that couldn't walk properly or something?" And I would actually be shy to say, "No, I think you're mistaken or something. It's not me. It's maybe some other Theo."
Yeah.
But yeah, I get
They ask for autographs.
No, not really. But when you go overseas, obviously, you're there at Commonwealth Games or African Games, people's always excited to see you. And hey, can I get the autograph? Sure, you may.
Tell us a little bit more about when you do go overseas, the competition, the strength of the competitions over there. I mean, you're obviously then coming up against the world's best, who have had similar challenges. How tough is it competing? The difference between competing in South Africa, where you're ranked very high here, and then you go overseas and you're coming up against the world's best.
It's tough. Obviously, it's tough, but due to my experience and traveling so much, I knew what to basically expect, I would say. And also, when playing in the para, especially in the TT10 division, especially in any division, you can see that the players playing there doesn't take themselves as I'm disabled or I'm para. You know what I'm saying? So they very.
But I mean, isn't that one of the beauties of the games?
Yes, definitely, because you can see people who's walking there without arms or without legs. You wouldn't even say this, why is this people playing table tennis?
Yeah.
And yeah, I still have both my legs, I still have both my arms, so sometimes I don't even feel like I am disabled or anything, because when you go to international tournaments, people is worse off.
Yeah.
So it's also just to look up to them and say, wow, if they can,
Well,
why can't I?
I think one of the strengths of the Western Province Sports Council is that there is a disability sector.
Yes.
And it's there to build disability, and that is also all about equality.
Yes.
That it becomes a point where it's not something that one thinks about.
Yes.
Same with women's sport. Same with racism in sport.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be in our minds, and why
Yes.
people still think like that
Yes.
should just be gone. Like we're just having a normal conversation, and that should be like that in
Yeah.
wherever you go.
Yeah. Basically, that's where it all comes down to.
Now you became the South African champion, and what I understand is you were the first South African to never drop a set. What does that
Oh.
mean? Never drop a set?
Basically, you get best out of 5, best out of 7, best out of 3. Best out of 3 is if you win 2 sets. Basically, it goes from 0 to 11. So
Yeah.
that's 1 set.
Okay.
So best out of 5 is winning 3. So in 2011, I had a quite good result. I managed to beat most players without losing a set, which was, I think, historical, I would say.
Really? So you're the
Yes.
first guy in history, in South
Yes.
African history at least, to do it with winning. And then of course you went on to win. You did so well at the Commonwealth Games as well.
Yes, what happened was we had a Chinese coach as well for about 4 to 5 years, and since we actually had him changing our games, etc., we managed to step up, and we actually learned a lot.
All right, Theo, I just want to also ask you about, in a couple of seconds, Hungary, Budapest. You had a good competition there.
Yes, I played in Hungary. I think it was World Cadet Challenge.
Yes.
I actually did quite well.
Yeah.
That was in the able body again.
Oh, okay, so this was before.
Yes, this was before
Alright.
the Hungary Budapest thing. And yes, that is always where I got seen by ITTF,
Yes.
and that's actually when I got my scholarship from them.
Theo, where to now?
I still have 2 more tournaments for this year, one of which I don't know where yet, still deciding which way to go. And then it's October to Morocco, All African Games, and it's all to qualify for Olympics.
All right, so you're ready for the Olympics.
Hopefully if I qualify.
You got to get there still.
Yes.
Theo, it's been fantastic chatting with you. We're so proud to have you in Cape Town. We lay claim to you 100% here. Best of luck in Morocco, and hopefully we'll see you in Rio in 2016. Yeah, the road to the Olympics. Let it go well for you.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, folks. This is, of course, Sports Federation TV. We talk to you about the very best of sport in and around Cape Town on behalf of the sports federations in Cape Town, of course, which forms part of the Western Province Sports Council. When we come back, we're going to be catching up with Lakeisha Johnson, also a table tennis champion. Back in a sec.